Hey, what's going on, guys? Street Riders 209 here. On this video, I'm going to show you guys a new product that I got for my truck. It's 9006, 9005 headlight bulbs. Of course, all of you guys know what this is here. It's the famous H.I.D kit, which a lot of people love and a lot of people hate. I've known people that slap these on their cars, literally go out within days. I know some people that have had them on there for a couple of months, some for years. Me myself on my truck, the kit that I had, I think worked for about 3 years before giving me any issues. However, I did modify my complete wiring system at the time. They were not making what they make now, which is like a pre-wired setup for running a relay system, which now you could buy on Amazon. That's what I was running. I was running these 9006 H.I.D lights with the 8000K. I don't know, that's my favorite. It's always been my favorite. But this is not the kit that I'm going to show you guys. So Auxbeam has came out with a new set of lights, and a lot of you guys might already know about the L.E.D light bulbs. This is them here. On the previous video that I have for my brother's truck, that white Silverado, he actually has lights just like these with a fan back here. The minute he turns his truck on and the lights kick on, you start hearing like a turbine kick on under the hood. Well, that's the fan for these light bulbs kicking on, and they're just kind of noisy, to be honest with you. I feel like if there's ever any issues going on with your truck, the fan under the hood, you might miss them because these hum way too loud on the ones that were on his truck. Okay, so this is Auxbeam's new setup. I have the 9005 right here, 9006 right here, 9006 for the low beam, 9005 for the high beam. You can pick these up for $39.99 a set. Not bad. If you guys go to your local auto parts, the Sylvania light bulbs, which are kind of like introduction to H.I.D type, but they're not very bright, those run you about $55 plus tax. That's just for 2 light bulbs. In the past, I have had those on my truck, and if I'm not mistaken, I think one of them went out within like 6 or 7 months. So I was very unhappy. And that's actually when I decided to go with the H.I.D kit about 5 years ago, actually. So this is Auxbeam's intro into LED light bulbs. One thing about these is that there is no fan inside here. I mean, you would assume that there is because it looks just like the rest of them, but it doesn't have a fan, so you're not going to get any noisy humming coming out of your hood with these. This is a Cree technology on these. One thing I do love about these, when I got them, I actually was kind of blown away because I had no idea that they could do this, is you see all of these in here? Alright, so this is what that is in a little plastic bag. So you got these little strips right here that you can actually undo and wrap around this light bulb, and it'll change your color temperature. That is pretty crazy. I think that's crazy. I always assumed that, like on the H.I.Ds, if you want 9006, if you want a 6000K, 8000K, 10,000K, 12,000K, you always had to buy the specific kit. That was it. There was no ifs, ands, or about it. That was it. Now they're giving you the option of converting every single color into just the same bulb. Therefore, technically you could, if you ever wanted to try out, maybe for instance, I've never gone up to a 10,000K, let alone 12,000, but I have the option of trying them out. Maybe it's something I like. I can slap those on and I'll get that color temperature, and we'll still keep the brightness of the LED light. Just right off the bat, the one thing I'm thinking of is maybe having some issues on different cars as far as the width or the thickness of this piece right here, just because I have seen some light bulbs that when the original comes out from the light, it comes down at a 90, and it literally is like right on the either the radiator support or some kind of plastic behind it. So you might have to do some modifications to your the body or your chassis. If I'm not mistaken, I saw the ones that my brother had. They were sticking out probably about 1/4 inch to 3/8 bigger than this. So when I saw those on his truck, I thought to myself, I know how my Chevy is. I would probably have to trim some of that the radiator support off to be able to fit these in appropriately where they have to go. So that's one thing I'm kind of concerned about. So you guys could tell it right there. The working voltage is between 12 and 24. So these are supposed to be like a true white. I'm assuming like a 6000K is what I'm thinking. I don't know. I've been meaning to change over my headlight system because in the past year and a half, I think I've gotten through 1.5 kits. In other words, 3 light bulbs, and I do not know where that came from because I'm in my opinion, they have been making these a lot cheaper and lower quality as time passes because the original H.I.D kits used to last a little bit longer than they do nowadays. So with the introduction of a new setup, a new option, for you guys to change over your headlights, I think that this is definitely coming at a good time, especially with the option of getting a different colored temperature. As far as size, they're all identical, 9005, 9006. They're going to go in the same spots. The one thing I do like is that you are not supposed to, I guess you could, but you don't have to mess with any of your existing OEM wiring. Everything under your hood stays as it is. In other words, where you would normally plug your original headlight bulb is where this plug basically sits. So you take your wiring and you plug it right onto here versus these. You guys know the mess you have to go through for these things. A lot of people recommend for you to run relays just because supposedly this ballast pulls or draws too much power at times or not sufficient power. So you have to run relays to feed it the proper power through the battery. Therefore, just basically going around your... Okay, wow. So you guys hear all that noise? That's a new... Where did she go? New member of the family. There she is. Her name's Luna. So my opinion is you're probably going to see her in a lot of my videos, especially since I have a bunch of stuff planned. But just like you see my other dog. Say hi, Luna. Alright, guys. So back to business. In my truck, I don't think there is an original setup anymore. I completely redid my whole wiring setup to power these H.I.D lights, but I don't have to go back to stock. That's the good thing because you don't have to stay stock to run these. If you already have a relay setup, you just plug in other words, what would normally be this plug for your H.I.D ballast, you plug into here and you're ready to go. You don't have to worry about mounting this thing anywhere. These don't require a ballast. Everything's integrated inside here. This dissipates the heat through, if I'm not mistaken, it's like some kind of aircraft aluminum. So it's a lot of you guys have seen the ones that have like steel pieces coming out the back. I don't know. Supposedly those work real good too, but they just look cheap to me. I don't know. It's just my opinion. I mean, you guys could post on the comments what you guys think. But I mean, this looks good to me. This looks professional. I'm actually glad that I'm not gonna have that hum like on my brother's truck because it was really annoying. So yeah, you basically, this is all you need. Just plug this in, and these are true plug and play. As this is supposed to be plug and play, but not necessarily. You have to do some searching. You got to find where to put your ballast. Make sure you keep it out of the elements, even though it's supposed to be weatherproof. We all know you get some water in here, usually stuff's gonna get damaged a lot sooner. These are also supposed to be rated ready, dust proof, waterproof, for the elements. Everything's good on them. So this has to go. Let's try this out. I'm gonna be putting those on right now. I'm gonna do a comparison between my existing H.I.D light kit and this. So I'm gonna do either the driver's side or the passenger side first. We're gonna go out in the dark and do a field test on them, and you guys can see the difference. I'll let you guys know when I'm on the spot which one is which. And then overall, I'm thinking of putting my stock headlight bulb back on just so you guys can see the difference between a complete stock and the LED. So let's do that now, and I'll start this back up. Alright guys, so I trust you guys that own these kind of Chevys knows how to take off these lights. Just with that pin, slide it out, then you can pop the whole headlight out. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the H.I.D. Go ahead and remove that. Just leave it hanging. I'm gonna go ahead and unplug this wiring setup, and I am gonna unplug it from here. This is what I need. Alright, so you guys could tell this is the one that usually comes with the H.I.D kit. But if you guys notice here, this is what I had done before. I had wired these up in a different way. So this is actually coming down from a relay right here. So I'm gonna leave this here. I'm gonna discontinue the H.I.D light bulb, which I'm doing now. Disconnecting it from this side. Alright, now I can take it out. So it's gonna be as if this is non-existent. You know, this does not exist in this truck anymore. So all I have is my original plug. So I'm gonna go ahead and run this as before. It was ran to the front, I mean to the back, running to the ballast. I'm gonna run it inside here. So here you go. This is how you would originally have found your stock setup with your factory wiring right into your original light bulb. So that's where it goes. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my 9006, since that's low beam. Now I'm gonna put this just with the basic 6000K standard light. Gonna make sure that it's nice on there, nice and snug, snapped in place. Kind of shake it a little bit, make sure everything's good. There it is. So you are done with this headlight. However, I will change the 9005. That's your original setup. This is completely original. So you unplug your wiring, you take off your light, and once I try to put this back on, that's when I'm going to find out whether or not I have to modify anything on here. Is if these for some reason don't sit back well against here. So finding my area, twisting, locking in place. There it is. Finding my power. There it is. You can make sure your clips snap in all the way. Slide that back. Slide this wiring back. Make sure that's not in the way. Okay, now that everything's clear, try to see about sliding your headlight back in place. And we have an issue. Yeah. Okay, so see how this is resting up against the light bracket before these are able to join. You still have about an inch to go. Same with this side. It looks like it's pretty much already maxed out right there. So this is not going to work for this setup. I'm gonna have to bring my Dremel out right now and drill out those headlight supports, and we'll see if it'll fit with a little bit of trimming. Alright guys, using my Dremel, I was able to cut this light little chunk right here, grind right in here, and then I cut right in here, just because I was pretty sure, judging by I've worked on these trucks a lot, so I know roughly the distances on almost all this area. And I was sure I was going to have a bit of a disadvantage when it came to that, because it was already really close to the radiator support. So as you guys could tell, it's like right there. It has very light pressure. I don't know if you guys can see the pin. Very light pressure on the pin. There you go. Lila. My dogs are over there barking at the neighbors. Alright, so it has light tension. I kind of wish I could take that off, but it's not much where I think it would damage anything. So basically the backing of that is resting up against the plastic, but it's like an odd corner. So I'm gonna leave it alone right now. We're gonna test these on real quick and see what we get from that. One thing that I did notice instantly was that those lights, they came on bright instantly. These obviously, like the ballast has to warm up and the bulb has to warm up, so it takes a little bit longer. I don't know if it's going to do that now, but no, it already charged. So you guys could tell that this is pretty wild. That, I don't know, once again on camera it looks yellowish, I can see it clearly, but to the eye it's white. One thing I do have to say about this 8000 is that I have tons of people always flashing their lights at me, so I'm assuming it's pretty bright. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna remove that. You know what, let's try the high beams, see what the high beams give us, because I did replace those too. Yeah, I like the high beam with the LED lights a lot better. I can tell already that they're way brighter. This is yellow. This is stock. So we'll hit the road right now and see the difference. So H.I.D's on the left, LED's on the right. We'll see what that gives us, and then ultimately I'll just change them all up to the LEDs. Alright guys, sorry about my bugs. Got some bugs on my windshield, but I'll tell you, I'm already impressed. It's not full pitch black yet, and I can already tell that the one on the right, even though it looked like less intensive on my gate, out here on the road it looks a lot brighter. You guys could definitely see that on my right side. There's a lot more light focused in the area right there. Like, it's bright. I did not see how that was gonna work. I'll be honest with you, I was a little bit skeptical when I first plugged them in, and judging by the reflection on my fence, it seemed like the H.I.D kit had more of a light dispersity, but I think that it just kind of fades away. So you guys can clearly tell right here, the right side, which is the LED from Auxbeam, is definitely giving me a way better view. The LED on the left, or the H.I.D on the left, it seems kind of like it's really no comparison. I can't wait to go back and change out the ones on the left side and try that out. So in a second I'm gonna hit my high beams as soon as this car moves out of my way. There you go, he's out. So here's the high beams. Wow, you can see further, but definitely on the right again. So that's a lot brighter than my stocks. Don't know what to say really about the color. I feel like the 6000K is as good as the 8000K in H.I.D. So far it looks really good. So I'm gonna get off right now in a second and show you guys from a distance, aiming back towards the truck, and see what that looks like. All right, guys. So we're out here in the country. You guys can see that side much brighter than this side. And remember, that's because also that's considering that the one on that side is still pinned with a little bit of tension. So I'm pretty sure that beam is aimed down just a hair. So I could go back in there and readjust the light to come up just a hair. But honestly, I think that's good. As far as intensity, let's go out here and see what we think. H.I.D on the right, L.E.D on the left. I'll look at them. I'll judge by myself with my eye, kind of see. I'll be honest with you. I feel like they're the same. I feel like one of them is not necessarily brighter than the other. And to be honest with you, right now, looking at them from this angle, they actually look identical, even in color. But you look that way, let me cover this light. That's what that light shows you. See how this light seems like it disperses the light closer, and this light shoots it out further and disperses a little bit. So I technically like the L.E.D a little bit better. That's probably the reason why on my gate it looks a lot brighter. But honestly, I think that driving, L.E.D is the way to go, at least with this setup that I have on here. So now I'm gonna go back home. I'm gonna swap out both of them so I can show you guys what it looked like. Before I go, let me turn on the high beams. As you can see, L.E.D. Now that's a big difference right there. See, so L.E.D, stock. That looks ugly. So let's go back and change them out. We'll put all 4 L.E.Ds and go from there. Alright guys, so now I'm going to remove the left side headlight. I'm going to cancel out the H.I.D kit, and I'm going to grind out the same spots that I grinded out on the other one. Those spots being, let me disconnect the H.I.D kit. There you go. Those spots being right in here. And then I gotta grind this piece off right here. And then on this side, I have to make a cut right in here. So let me do that right now, and test fit it and see if it goes back on. Alright guys, so here's the cutout that I made for the low beam, and here's the cutout that I made for the high beam. Grinded it off. It looks odd. The reason why is because you have to make sure that it clears back that way. You know what I'm saying? So it should be ready. I'm gonna try to go ahead and put this back on and see if it fits. If it doesn't fit, then I have to adjust, probably cut this a little bit more towards this side, towards the left, or maybe one of these might be too narrow still, so I have to cut further out. So let me test fit it. Alright guys, so it actually went on there a lot easier than this side. So they're both now on. You guys could see they're equals. They're real bright. So we're gonna go take this for a test drive real quick and see the difference. Well, I can already see the difference. So you're guys gonna judge whether you want this setup or not, knowing that it is better than an H.I.D kit by my judgment, just by what I've seen so far. So let's go out on the road and see what you guys think. Alright guys, so just going a few blocks down the road. This is this area that doesn't have any lights either, just like mine area, but it's actually darker. Judging by the amount of light that is coming out of the LED light bulbs, to my eye, it is better than the H.I.D kit, honestly. It's focused. I wouldn't want to say more towards the further end, so kind of like that. I have to adjust the one on the right up just a little bit. You guys can kind of see how it's low. It's a little bit low. I definitely say this is an improvement. I know that the H.I.D kit tends to put a little bit more light right in this area, but that's not necessarily the area that I want to be focused on when I'm driving. You know, so I want to be focused more up here somewhere where the incoming, you know, and this kit definitely does that. I feel like it's aiming more towards the area that is probably about, I want to say 60 feet away and up, versus the H.I.D kit focuses a lot on something that's like 30 feet away, so half the distance. I like this kit. I'm gonna keep it on this truck. What I want to see now is I want to see the color change. So we'll go back to the house real quick. I'll slap on some of those Kevin light little strips, and we'll see what you guys think from there. If that's something you guys want to do, I'm gonna keep this with the white unless I absolutely like the blue. I don't know, but I'm gonna leave this alone. Definitely a thumbs up to Auxbeam. This is a nice setup. Let me try my high beams in a second. Whoa. Yeah, that's definitely high. That's them right there set up. It shoots the light really far. I know on camera it shows it that it's focused pretty close, but I can see it really far down the road. That's all four of them on right now. That is blinding. I'm sure anybody that's incoming is going to get blinded by this. So yeah, this is definitely bright. That's the difference right there between high beam, low beam. So let's head back to the house. Alright guys, so what I'm gonna try the blue one first. It's very easy. All you do is you just take the peel off just a little bit, enough to wrap it on the bulb. See how it comes off on its own practically. And then you're supposed to wrap the bulb on there right now without really twisting it, so just like that, and then unwrap it as you go. And just like that, and then just make sure that it's nice and tight. Adjust it. There it is. That was extremely easy. So now I'm gonna put this back on, and I'm gonna crank it up and see what the difference is between both of them. Alright, that's a big difference. The light still needs to be set all the way back in place. It's loose right now, that's why it's lower on there, but you guys could tell the difference, white and blue. So now I'm gonna try the yellowish one on there and see what it looks like. It's on. So that's the difference. I don't see why anybody would really want that on their car, but I mean, I have seen a lot of different color headlights out there. So it looks yellow, looks a little bit yellow orange on the road. I'm actually a little bit curious to see how that looks like on the road. So let's go pull out real quick out into the street and kind of see what that looks like. All right, guys, that's your yellow orange light. Don't know about you guys, but I personally do not like it. I think like that looks, I don't know, it looks like stock, to be honest with you. Obviously on the headlight it looks good, like, not good, I mean it looks yellow, but for the visibility I would say it's very low. In my opinion, that is a no. Don't like that one. The blue one looked good. Looks cool against the green, but that's about it. Alright guys, so went back to the regular color, the white LED. I think it matches with my fog lights down there. So hope you guys liked the video. Hope to help you guys out how to install those. Although they're the easiest thing to install, they're a lot easier than the H.I.D kits, I think. So I hope you guys pick up a set, mess with it, figure out what color you guys like. Definitely hope that if you guys do come into some trouble about putting them in and them like hitting, you guys could figure out a way to easily modify the surrounding areas to fit that light properly, because it's definitely worth it. You get a lot of visibility. Like I said, I gave it a thumbs up to Auxbeam. That's a great set. It's pretty affordable at 40 bucks per set. Most of you guys are only going to get the low beams anyways, so hope you guys like. So don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Thank you.